Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Thank you everybody for joining us. अल्लाह ताला हमारे इस सेशन में बरकत डाले, हमें रिलेशनशिप की कदर बताए और प्योरिटी लाए हम सबकी रिलेशनशिप में इंशाल्लाह. Through this session, we help each other to become better in conducting the relationships we have in life. So, as Sister Shazia said, okay, we are on the tools for building relationship and resolving conflict. This is section 4. And most of the students are on section 1 and section 2. So we don't want to rush forward and get into another tool where we want more students moving forward so that it makes more sense. So what we thought was that this session we will dive deeper into the first tool. And everyone, even if you haven't done section 1, completed it, you still can benefit from this session and, apply it to life, inshallah. So don't hesitate in asking questions. If you don't understand anything, let's begin. So most of you have done the area on parts of you. You've read about who are you, right? You know what you have a mind, you know you have emotions, you know you have a qalb, you know you have a body, and you know out of all this who you are, right? So you know yourself. You get the second part. The first one you're doing control, you learn that in there, and you identify who you really are. So we were looking at the consciousness levels of people, of ourselves, that we rise and we go down, and Al-Kitab, Allah Pak tells us that our mission is to return to Him pure, right? We have to return to Him pure. That in itself tells us that we are impure. By coming into this life, we have gone wrong. It's just part of living in this materialistic world. Allah Ta'ala is forgiving. Allah Ta'ala does guide. And our job is to keep on trying to become more and more in our true self. So we were saying that if a person is very high in emotional intelligence, so he will or she will be able to use the critical thinking and come about with solutions or look at life in a more spiritual way. So the higher they are on the consciousness level, the more true self they are in, if they are in, have emotional intelligence. Then we said that if you have a mind, a brilliant mind, and you can analyze things very fast, you can be very logical, you can come up with great inventions, but that doesn't guarantee that your consciousness level is high. So the mind can operate, be very, you can have a brilliant mind, but the consciousness level can be low or could be high. And then we looked at the material side of life, because all of us are living in a material world. And we said that anyone below boredom on the consciousness level is going to be more stuck in the material world. So if somebody said fear or grief or apathy or, that kind of consciousness level, if Sister Shazia tries to talk to them about spirituality, they're not going to get it. It's like the band is too high. And we are looking at this area in our, how to communicate, how the different consciousness levels require a different way of communicating. And that is what part of the tools are doing in teaching you that, right? So let's look at this as a quiz for you, right? You ready for a quiz? Yes?
Yeah.
If you're with me on this, right? So
Yeah.
So the first question of the quiz is, a person stuck in body issues cannot rise spiritually. Is that true or false?
True.
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 True. It's true.
Okay, all right. And why would that be?
because all her attention and all her energies are spent on just focusing on his body, so he can't think about anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very true. So a person with body issues resolved will rise in consciousness. True or false?
True.
True.
Yes.
Any
Yes.
other
It's true.
answers?
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
बोल के chat में लिखें, just be active in your thinking and stay with me. Don't be a spectator, right? So question 2, false or true for you? You can say anything. It doesn't matter even it's right or wrong. That's what we are here to do. So Shama says true. What about all the others here? We got 14 people.
true. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Anyone
true.
else? True? Okay. Or everybody please wake up. Okay. All right. So if it's true. Okay. All right. So it's, you look at this consciousness level, right? You look at it. I have a body problem. Say I'm at a consciousness level. I get that body problem resolved. It's not necessary I will rise in consciousness. It's not. Who makes that decision whether I rise in consciousness? Which part makes that decision?
Our qalb.
Yeah, you make that decision, right?
So,
You make the decision by
the
connecting with
heart will.
with the calb. You connect with the calb, and
Yeah.
the calb connects with the spiritual.
So,
That connection is established with Allah Ta'ala, and it is not necessary. You will see one person gets one disease, then they get another one, then they get another one, then they get another one. Right? And it does not guarantee that if their body issue is resolved, they will rise in consciousness. So we'll explore this more as we go, and you will, inshallah, understand. Intelligent person will rise in consciousness level. True or false?
False.
false.
Okay. Reason?
Yes, it's
Because
false.
एक कोई reason, tell one person, tell me the reason. Why? Why is it?
Because an intelligent person can't be high in spiritual level or consciousness level.
May not be.
may
May, yeah,
May or may not.
may not be. Yeah.
An emotionally intelligent person or is always in true self.
Yes.
Yes, it's true.
So you're an emotionally intelligent person, right? Are you always going to be in true self? True or false?
An intelligent person will rise in consciousness level. It's not true.
कौन सा कर रहे हो? Shama, I'm doing number 4 now.
Sorry, I was on 3. Sorry.
You're right on that one. They will, intelligent person will
So
rise.
that,
That
yes,
is false. An emotionally
yes,
intelligent person is always in true self. Is that right or wrong?
yeah, it's
मैम आई गेस के कोई 100% ऑफ द टाइम तो कोई भी कॉन्शियसनेस के लेवल पे नहीं रह सकता, कभी ना कभी आप फॉल बैक कर ही
ये
जाते
तो
हो.
अल्लाह ताला ने लिखा, तब हम purity के, we are going towards purity, so we are going to step out of it.
but emotional intelligent person or will be most of the time in true self.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
we're saying
true.
always. We're using the term always here, yeah?
Yeah.
So you have to watch out. Even an emotional, intelligent person can go down. So don't just accept it. Okay, this person is
Yeah.
always going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah, it's false because it's not always. It's
Not
most of the
always.
time.
True.
Yeah.
An emotionally intelligent atheist will be acting on fitra. True or false?
false.
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 Will be acting on fitra.
False.
Yeah, it's false.
Reason बताएं. Give me a reason.
Because
क्योंकि
Sorry, speaker.
Yes, continue.
Anisha, come on, give me a reason.
क्योंकि हमारी फितरत में ये है कि हम लोग किसी न किसी चीज़ की वर्शिप करते हैं, तो एथियस्ट जो है वो कैसे अपनी ट्रू सेल्फ में हो सकता है, जबकि उसे पता ही नहीं है कि वर्शिप क्या होती है, किसकी वर्शिप करनी है। आई
So,
होप
by fitra, Allah Ta'ala has
Yes.
put right and wrong in you.
यस
Right and wrong का पता है atheist को. There are a lot
Yes.
of good people who are atheist.
Hmm.
Very better than some of us labeled Muslims. Yeah? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
Allah Ta'ala has blessed everyone with a fitra. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So an atheist, emotionally intelligent person, they will be acting on fitra if they are doing the right things in life. They are, right? Next question, ko
Okay.
dekhiye. An atheist can rise to the highest level of consciousness. What is the answer here?
Atheists cannot rise to the highest level of consciousness
That's true.
because he or she doesn't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's
And
right.
consciousness is the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in each and every moment. So he can't be on the highest level of
So
consciousness.
he can talk about justice, he can talk about right and wrong, he can talk about kindness and do all those things that are part of the fitra, which would make 5 acting on fitra. But he cannot rise to that supreme level because he hasn't got the standards that Al-Kitab gives us. Yes? Does that make sense? That 5
Yeah.
is true, and the atheist can rise, he can't. He can't rise to that.
Yeah, it's
Yes, ma'am.
false.
I have a
Uchu.
ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह जो है वो हमारी फितरा का पार्ट नहीं है।
I'm not saying that it's of course a part of that, but in that fitra, Allah Ta'ala has blessed us with so much. You know what kindness is, you know what justice is, yeah, you know what love is, you know what rights are, you know what education is, and that is all of your fitra, you know.
Okay.
But it goes only up till this level. We can't go higher
Yes.
because that standard is missing. We get a very
Okay.
high standard from Al-Kitab of what actually is the potential of the fitra. He never gets that. He never senses that there's so much more potential. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Yes.
Okay. So we were looking at, what is the journey of each one of us. It's towards purity. In every single day, आप भी मैं भी, we go impure, and our job is to return to that side of purity. The namaz helps us. So life is not just about our personal self, it's about getting everyone on that path so that everybody is pure. Do you agree with that? You're all working towards that. The Ummah is in a state because we haven't been doing that. We haven't been taking everybody with with ourselves towards the path of purity. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, it's
So that
true.
is a journey. It's not just about taking myself, it's about bringing the whole thing to a new level of purity and taking responsibility for others.
Because إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. That's why we need to do a collective effort towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So we talked about understanding last time. This was our opening to section 4. And we said understanding relates to everything, to a word, a subject, a thing, a skill, a person, a group, idea, everything requires understanding. Right? It's a necessary thing. It applies to it. It's the basics. So in relationship building, it acts like a bridge. If you have that understanding, you can then, communicate clearly. You can collaborate with people, have your leadership projects. bring about better results, and you can peacefully resolve conflicts if there is understanding. And we looked at the first component of understanding, which is affinity. We talked about that last time. And we said there are three things that make up understanding. The first one we talked about is affinity. And if one of the components is missing, there's no understanding. So no affinity will mean no understanding, right? And if one is present and you increase it, understanding will go up. One of the other things we spoke about was that understanding doesn't just happen like this. It's not a destination, it's something you constantly work on, right? So we get married, we say, okay, I've got an understanding with this person. You don't close the door on that. It's an everyday thing, understanding your spouse, with your child, because they are changing, you're changing, the environment is changing, there's so much changing. So understanding is an ongoing process. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, it's true.
So affinity we defined as your emotional attitude towards something, your degree of liking. You could be bored about something, you could fear something, you could be angry about something, you could have mild interest, strong interest. This is all your degrees of liking towards it. Yeah. So you have different things in life and you have different levels of affinity. You're very unique, your life is unique, your upbringing is unique. You live in a culture, you've been brought in, your education has been different. So we are all different people and we have different degree of likenesses for things because of our experiences, because of people we associate with, right? So we come across a lot of things in life, and is high affinity, what does it apply to? Does it apply to an ant or a worm, to cow dung, to a disease? Does it apply?
Yes.
High affinity. So as we are saying, it's part of, it's a component of understanding. You would have to have high affinity for it to understand it. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So then we talked about people. They were people, and we see a lot of people, and we decide whether we like them or we don't like them. And what we have to see, well, will I have affinity if I meet this lady or this man or him or him? What is my level of affinity? So if I decide, okay, I don't really like this person, what's he doing? What kind of clothes has he got? His hair is like, no, I think like that. I immediately stop seeing that person. I don't even listen because now I've got a lens through which I've decided I don't like it, or I don't, I've already judged them, right? And I've created a distance between them and me. Does that make sense? So my affinity level determines my understanding of that person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So even on issues like between India and Pakistan, between Shia and Sunni, between Israel and Palestine, if you have fixed and low level of affinities, your understanding will also be affected by that. So let's look at this quiz. How does control of affinity matter in life? My affinity level does not matter. True or false?
False.
False. Okay, why? जी कौन बताएगा? शाजिया, सिस्टर शाजिया बताएं.
Because as we talk, it's very important to have a high affinity for everything. Because in the life, even some matters, we don't like the matters, but if we don't have affinity, we will not try to understand that matter. And so
Yeah.
we have to have a high affinity for everything. It's
Right.
very important. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next one, let's go to that. I should live with what I feel. If I feel like bored, about this thing, I'm bored. There are a lot of people who do that, don't they? But yes, this thing I'm bored with. I'm not interested in this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's false. I
So I
live.
should live with what I feel. So is that true? Should it be true for you or false for you?
It's
Okay.
false
False.
because
You're saying false.
I
Okay.
cannot live with what I feel. I need to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's book as a believer.
Mhm. Okay, good, good. So my affinity level cannot be changed for a person or thing. True or false?
False.
False.
Yeah, it keeps changing because it's affinity is
Yes.
ongoing process, so it keeps changing.
Mhm. My affinity level influences outcomes.
Yes. True. True.
True. Okay. Yeah, it will. Your affinity level will determine the result. As we went over, if it's a very low affinity level, you've already closed in on what you're looking at. So your understanding is less. So you're going to create a result that's not going to be the best result. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then we have, I should not control my affinity. Is that true or false?
False.
False.
Okay.
I have to control
Mhm.
affinity to improve relationships, to improve understanding in the relationships.
Okay, so you've answered 6 as well. So a person is, feeling angry. Does they have to stop that affinity level of feeling angry? Is it their responsibility?
Yes, as a responsible person, this is a very
Yeah.
important responsibility.
So they have to change from anger and change it. So they have to have control over their feelings and change it from anger to a higher level of emotional feeling, right? So the change is there. So they have to start a new emotional level as well. Yeah. And Allah Ta'ala does talk about this, that He gives us the rope to hold on to. It's a very strong bond that makes it possible because we are, we have that knowledge and that belief that it can be done. A lot can be done if you have a supreme power next to you, isn't it? Do you agree?
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So it's something that is in you. Some people say, I can't control it, I can't control it. Yes, you can. You can. And the 2 videos that have come on to the controls course, please, if you haven't watched them, do watch them. And they will help you, especially in relationship to changing your affinity. Okay? Let's move on. So here we are. We are saying, so what affinity level do you need to have to build a relationship? What would be your answer?
I need a high level of affinity to
Yeah.
build
Very,
relationships.
very high. Very high.
Yes.
It's not above anger or something like that. You need to go quite high. My affinity matters in life, right? So if we don't change our affinity level, nothing will change. It's up to us to change it. As I look thinking about this thing, there's a lot of us in Islam give to the poor. The Al-Kitab keeps on telling us to look after it, but there's a lot being given by Muslims. लेकिन गुर्बत पॉवर्टी खत्म नहीं हो रही, कम भी नहीं होती. So when a person is giving, they're giving, who is the affinity for? Sister Shazia? Let's see. Let me make you a co-host, Sister Shazia. Are you there? Sophia, I'm going to make you. I can't see Sister Shazia. Are you there?
You guys have been working probably
Uh,
72 hours straight. Are we
Okay.
talking like one of those dreams? Oh my gosh, we actually are. Wait, this has never happened before. Is he dreaming?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what was my question? Yeah. So when we are giving to a poor person, where is our affinity?
It's at high level affinity because we are
तो
helping
के
them.
गुर्बत खत्म ही नहीं हो रही, कहाँ पे है affinity? You know, if you had, Sister Shama, if we have total or a lot of affinity for a poor person, you could have affinity for giving. You could have affinity for you as a person giving, or you could have affinity for the person you're giving to. Where is the affinity? Because if we had affinity for wiping out poverty to or making it less, a lot of change would come in that person. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So the affinity, maybe we are earning points with Allah Ta'ala. We've got affinity for ourselves. Could it be that?
Yes,
Yes.
it could be.
So we have to watch where our affinity is, what is the niyat, what is the intention, you know, and actually bring change in society. Does that make
Are
sense?
you talking about, sorry, are you talking about the effort, collective effort to bring about a real change that matters? Am I,
If you're helping a person, help them genuinely, have affinity for them. You know, they shouldn't be right through their life begging. Yeah? Does that make sense?
yeah, yes.
You know, I haven't cared for them. My affinity is not for them. My affinity is for, okay, I gave something.
Should we focus on to make people independent
That would be the
instead of
idea.
giving
When
something?
Allah Ta'ala says give, He doesn't mean just give like that. That's not really changing the situation.
Yeah.
We need to be doing much more and elevating.
To
The poor get poorer,
To-
rich get richer. That is not helping.
elevate the lives of the people to make a real change, that means high level of affinity. If I'm helping someone on individual level, and it's not my high affinity because I'm not working on the collective level, like
It's not about
teaching
collecting.
a skill or
You know, I help a person, I give him money every month. You know, I'm not bothered about whether his condition is changing or not changing. So my affinity for that person isn't there. My affinity is only for my giving something.
for sawab or for reward only.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's on me,
Yeah.
my affinity.
Now I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I
Jazakallah.
think, you know, that's what is the sawab. If I change this person's life, it's not about just taking money and giving it like that. We've got to look at the conditions we are creating. You know, in Pakistan, in Karachi, beggars बढ़ते जाते हैं क्यों? Because we're not really caring about them. They make it a profession, don't they?
Yeah, our purpose should be to make a real change, to make people independent.
Yeah, to make them independent, to help them, to bring them on their fitra.
Yeah.
Bring them away from their fitra, making them totally dependent in false self. Yes? Does that
Yeah,
make
giving money is not the solution.
Yeah, we need to look wider there. Okay, let's see, where am I? Okay, so we looked at problem. You remember the definition of it. Yes, you're right, Sister Azra, address the real issues and have pure intentions. We defined problem, the difference between perceived state and desired state, and we said analyze both the perceived state and the desired state. What, you know, and we had the questions. There's again a new video on it on your relationship building course on problems if you want to look at it. But as far as relationships are concerned, please look at these questions of, you know, if something has come about between you and another person, what specific behaviors or actions indicate a problem? Write it down, provide details. Is anything triggering it? Where are these behaviors occurring? Are they occurring in the outside, or in which environment are they occurring? In office? How are these behaviors showing up? What kind of things are happening that are making you feel that the relationship is not right? who is involved in this issue, what topic is involved, when did this behavior start, how frequent is it. So we are saying you need to look at the perceived and similarly for the desired state in order to come up with the right solutions. Right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So I had sent this question on to all my students who are on the workshop. What happens when a person has no problems in life? And Alhamdulillah, you all answered it. And some of you said that it's not possible to not have problems, right, sister? I think Sister Shazia Tariq answered it like that. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. And then we had also people saying that if students saying that if there was no problem, then the person wouldn't grow, right? And they wouldn't develop, and it would just be stagnant and this, that, and the other. But these were all answers are right in what you're saying. I wanted to add to that. And some of you also said that it wasn't possible to not have a problem in life. That was also, so some of you said that. So basically, let's look at an example. A person has a big loan, right? And he doesn't have money to pay, and it's a huge, huge problem for him. And suddenly he gets all this money and the problem is solved, right? So now what does he do? What does he do? He's like, he's not got a problem anymore, right? What's he going to do? He's going to create a problem based on his consciousness level. Does that make sense? Maybe he's going to create another material problem. Oh, I don't have that job that I want, or I want that big status. I don't have that one. He's going to create that. Say a woman is very fearful. The burglar alarm is not working in the house. She's very fearful. Or somebody might come in. The burglar alarm gets fixed. She doesn't have that problem. She's at a fear
Yes.
consciousness level. What's she going to do? She's going to create another problem that is that fear. Does that make
Yes, ma'am. Our mind is a problem solving machine. अगर नहीं होगी तो खुद create कर लेगा.
हाँ,
तो हमें चूज करनी होगी अपनी खुद की प्रॉब्लम्स अपने कॉन्शियसनेस लेवल पर कि हम ऐसी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करें जो हमारे लिए भी अच्छी हो और दूसरों के लिए भी बहुत
yeah,
अच्छी हो.
absolutely,
तो चूज करें
absolutely.
अपनी, इससे पहले कि हमारा माइंड खुद ही कोई प्रॉब्लम बना ले.
हाँ, so you don't become
Useless.
a victim of the problems because problem तो आएगा. अब वो आपको pick ना करे, आप pick करो. You pick the problem that you want to, and you pick it at a high consciousness level.
Yeah, that's why we need to learn the skill of control. Because we will control the mind.
Yeah,
instead
you will
of-
control the problem, you control what you want, you control the mind, as you said. Yeah, so very key area to focus on, that sometimes we just look at the mind and say, oh, this is another problem of mine. Well, is it a problem or is it not a problem? You make that choice. Because you can pick any problem you want. I could pick 100 problems in my life. There are lots of them. Which one is more important to me? That's my choice. So fix it on your consciousness level, do it, based on Al-Kitab. Can we mute Sister Shazia? Okay. So we move forward. Yeah, everybody got this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, where was I here? And now I can go forward here. Here's a quiz for you. So, how does affinity impact on problem solving? It has no impact, as I do not connect emotionally to issues. You have a lot of people say that. It has no impact as I do not connect emotionally to issues.
It's false. It's false.
Okay. Anybody else has any views on this? I'm going to take it at the end, so you can, share your.
Yeah, it's false. Because I need to connect emotionally with everything. because affinity is an emotional attitude.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying it's false. Okay, my affinity impacts on the problem, so I compartmentalize it to solve the problem. True, false?
True.
Okay, any others?
Yeah, it's true.
Anything else?
मैम मुझे क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आया थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कीजिए
So my affinity impacts on the problem. I do have an emotional viewpoint on it, right? But what I do is I put my emotions on one side and I solve it.
No, I guess it's false.
Okay. Why would you say that?
क्योंकि एफिनिटी और हमारे इमोशन साथ साथ चलते हैं तो हम लोग कैसे एक चीज को साइड पे कर सकते हैं
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. Low affinity will impact negatively on solving the problem. True, false?
True.
Yeah, it's false.
ट्रू yes true.
True, affinity will false. Yeah, it's true.
Okay. High
True.
affinity will impact positively on solving the problem.
True.
Okay. My affinity level plays an important part in the outcome of the problem.
True.
It's true. I think you got it.
True.
Your last three, we all agree on. One or two, a lot of men say we can just put it on one side, but Anusha said it right. You can't compartmentalize. You always have an emotion. You might hide it, but it's there. And it impacts on you. It's energy flow in your body, right? So you can't separate out of it. Okay, now we're going to this side. You've studied these, the way you can approach this to conflict, right? Avoid conflict, smooth it over, win at all costs, compromise, and win-win negotiation. So we are looking at the affinity level and the approaches to conflict. Yeah? So here's a quiz for you. So we are saying does affinity level matter in approaches to conflict? What should be my affinity level? So my affinity level high on win-win approach? True, false?
True.
True.
Okay, all right. Thank you for those answering in the chat as well. My affinity level low on avoiding and smoothing it over.
Yeah, it's low. It's true.
Okay. My affinity level moderate on compromise. True,
True.
false?
True. True.
My affinity level high on win at any cost.
False.
False.
Pretty high.
False.
Okay.
False.
False, yeah. Winning is not the purpose.
We are talking about the approach. Whose approach, on that approach, my affinity level high on win at any cost. And you're saying false, it's not high. Okay. My affinity level varies with the conflict approach I use. True, false?
True.
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 True, because
So basically, you choose the approach you use, right? You choose this approach, whichever one you want, right? Whether it's avoid. It's not, you can avoid a conflict. Sometimes you have to avoid it. Sometimes you smooth it over. It's not that important, right? And sometimes, like with a kid who's trying to cross the roads in heavy traffic, you have to win at any cost. Yeah, you have to win that. He can't go. Do you agree?
Yes.
So basically, a compromise may be in all of them. What should be your affinity level?
High.
It should be high, but
Yeah,
it isn't.
It should always high.
it should always be high in every one of them. In every
Yes.
one of them, it has to be high. You do not lower your affinity level, even if you are avoiding or smoothing it over. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
But it doesn't happen this way.
Yeah. Now that
It
is
should
the
be.
thing we
It
are
should
trying
be.
to.
But
Yeah, that is the thing we are coming through with the building relationship workshop, that we are learning to control our affinity. And we cleared last time session, Al-Wadud, we looked at love, Allah Ta'ala's love, and we looked at how we have that in our fitra.
hmm.
And it's entirely up to us to raise that level. It doesn't happen because culturally we are taught things, or education wise, or we've seen differently. But we could start now by having a high level of affinity for anything. Why not? We have that potential. What do you think?
Yes, we have this potential that we can improve our affinity, increase our affinity.
Yeah, yeah. Inshallah, and it gets to be a habit, a baby habit that we go into this affinity level. And as we change the mind and we train it to have high levels of affinity, it does stick at that level. Right? And then the last section of section 1 was about assessing your relationships. Right? And we talked about the different relationships we have, and it's perfectly okay to have the different relationship with different people, right? And we are saying there's affinity level matter in level of relationship. So we do a quick quiz on this just to see. My affinity level is high on 7, 8, and 9, 10. This is where we are sharing our personal thoughts, and even when we are vulnerable, we share that. So is the affinity level high? Our level is high on that one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sister Anam, you're with me, yeah? What are you saying to this question? My affinity level is high on 7, 8, and 9, 10. Yeah?
Yes, true.
My affinity level is moderate on 5-6.
True.
It's transactional, shopkeeper,
Yeah.
card teacher, yeah? My affinity level is low on 1-2 and 3-4.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My affinity level varies based on my relationship level. True, false?
True.
True.
My affinity level needs to be high on all relationship levels.
Yes, it should be ideally.
That's very true, sister. So when you say it right, but you say it with like it can't be done.
Yes, our ideals don't exist.
So it needs to be high all the time because that's our fitra. We have trained it to go up and down like a yo-yo.
Hmm.
So my affinity level is high on 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it is. My affinity level is moderate. No, it should be high. It should be high on 5, 6. My affinity level is low on 1-2, 3-4. Keep it high. तभी understanding होगी. You are caring for that other person. You have to exemplify your affinity level for whatever, even if it's just a hello, hi situation. Why don't we show affinity? We should show affinity, no? As a Muslim, right?
Yes.
So my affinity varies based on this would be false, number 4. Okay, moving forward. And I haven't got it. I think you can answer this one now. We've gone through so much. What should be your affinity level at the different levels of conflict? You tell me.
High.
That's right. It should be high at all levels. Does everyone agree? I know it's hard, but it needs to be kept high. That's the only way the conflict will resolve. It will not resolve if your affinity level drops because your understanding will drop of the opposite party. Yes? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're looking at one last area for you. Who should I have the closest relationship with in my life? We're talking about people here. What do you think out of all this list? Who should one have a closest relationship with in this list? Any answers?
I think spouse.
Any other answers? Sister Anisha said spouse. Anam says spouse.
Mother?
In the whole list, we're looking at why would you say that? Why should it be? Why should it be spouse? Why should it be mother? Any others?
Because it's a divine relationship.
Excuse me?
Well, because it's the most sacred relationship.
Okay. You're talking about the spouse?
Because Allah subhanahu
Yeah.
ta'ala created Hawa for Adam.
Okay, all right. And somebody said mother. Why would one say mother out of all this list? Because it is there in our culture. That is being created as the most closest relationship, and then we have issues occurring because of it, don't we? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So if you look at this one, and please share. If who shares the same life goals as yours? In all these people, life goals. Who are they shared with?
Friends or spouse mostly.
Life goals basically spouse ke saath. It's with the spouse. Your friends are going different direction, different goals, whatever. Yeah. Who do or will you spend most of your adult life with? Who? Yeah, we're looking at, Sister, we're looking at relationships in our life, Of course, your relationship with Allah Ta'ala and with yourself is there. So we are saying that who will you spend most of with your spouse? Who has or will witness most of what is happening to you in adult life? Yes. Yes, Sister Shazia said your spouse will be with you in times of loss and in times of happiness. Your spouse. Who plans to share the same space as you through their lives? Your spouse. So that is your closest relationship. I bring this up because I see a lot of issues coming up because it's not the closest. And things are being discussed outside the home that are creating issues, either with with a parent or with a sister or with somebody like that. And it's not being kept sacred. That relationship is very sacred. And as we see in the ayat, and Allah Ta'ala has made for you from your homes a place of rest. And it doesn't become a place of tranquility, of security, of mercy, of blessing, if it's not the closest relationship. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we all agree, or is there anything you'd like to say on it? Everyone agrees? Gone quiet. Why did you go quiet? Yes, agreed? Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of ideas that prevent this relationship from growing, from becoming good, from becoming flourishing. Some myths about women and men that destroy this relationship. One of the ideas is strong men do not show emotion. Men have emotions. The spouse is the only one they probably will show it to. Am I right? So this is a myth that they don't have emotion. Don't think they don't have it. They have it. They just don't show it. And if we as a spouse are not a safe person to share with, they won't show it. Yeah. Women are naturally more nurturing and emotional. Not every time, no. We've got our own issues. We've had our own experiences, upbringing, culture. We may not be. So, we might need a helping hand. We might need a door open so that we can be better at it. So don't assume, applies to men and women, that we should not have this idea that women are just naturally like that. Men and women communicate in fundamentally different ways. There's a book that got very popular. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It's like, what is that all about? It's like you can see that Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with a mind, a qalb, a body, a soul. They are not different. They're physically, yes, difference is there, but don't put them on different areas so that you feel that you cannot communicate with the opposite sex. Some idea also comes about a man's worth is tied to his success, while a woman's is tied to her appearance. Is this in our culture? What do you think?
Yes.
Well, how would you say that? How would you say it is? What happens in our culture? Can you expand on it? On this idea that a woman and man go into marriage with this kind of idea. So then the woman is focusing on her appearance most of the time. And the man is focusing on his position and his money.
Yeah, so because right now, like if you see when a parent, like a girl who is looking to marry, this is the, like I have seen, like, this is the most important thing they see in each other. Like when they are going to look for a girl, she has to be very beautiful. This is the first thing usually the mothers ask. If she's beautiful, slim and whatever, all the appearance things. They don't ask about the character, if she prays, if she has a good character, and all those things. Those usually, are secondary, but first is appearance for the girl. In the same way for the man, if he has good status, good job, and all those things, doesn't matter if he has a good character or not. It comes secondary for them. As long as he's wealthy, he's well settled, that matters the most. Usually this is in our culture a lot. Yeah, they compromise the other things which are more important on these two things. Yeah.
So if we come in with this kind of belief into a marriage and we then are not curious about that person, we want them to be a certain way, we feel that is their purpose. They must bring in the money, they must bring in the success, they must be upheld in society, they must look good. And it's the consciousness level, where do you think that is at? Is it at spirituality? All these, where is it?
Very low. Yeah.
It's in materialism. And it's fixated, and the culture is creating that in our youngsters. Do you agree? That kind of consciousness level is being created, and as you said, Sister Shazia, we've been looking for, in selecting a partner, we're looking at a very low consciousness level, material, right? So something that we need to change, and who's going to change it? Who's going to change it?
We.
Yeah. Each one of us has a part to play. Yeah. Each one of us has a part to play. So when we started the course, we defined what relationship is. Yeah, and we talked about relationship being trust. It's about the degree of trust, degree of respect, and degree of care. Those three things. And those three things define your affinity. Yeah. So a very high degree of trust, a very high degree of respect, and a very high degree of care shows a very high degree of affinity from you to the other person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is happening actually when you say this person, I've got a lot of false selves. You have a lot of false selves. We go into it sometimes, Yes, do you agree we have got a false self?
Yes.
Many different models of it, like I show over here. Sometimes this, sometimes there we go, it happens to us. So is the relationship, who is the relationship with? With the spouse? Is it with a false self or is it with the true self?
It should be with our true selves, but it is difficult to accept our true selves.
I love it when you speak. I do love it because you get it. You really get it. How important it is to have a relationship with the true self. Now, every person is beautiful because he's based on the fitra Allah Ta'ala has created us with. But when we say, yes, I, he's like this and he's like, who are we criticizing? The true self or the false self?
True self.
When I say that person is dishonest, that person lies, that person doesn't tell the truth, who am I criticizing? A true self or a false self?
I think false self. We don't know other people very. We don't know people's true selves usually.
True self की
We're
definition
just
कौन देगा मुझे?
criticizing their actions.
You're criticizing their actions. You're saying, वो ऐसा है, वैसा है. Sister Shazia said, what would you say? True self is closest to fitra, right? True
Yeah.
self, right? So
Yes.
when we are criticizing somebody, we are criticizing who? False self or true self?
False self.
That's what you're criticizing. It's not the person at all. It's a false self you're criticizing. When I get angry and frustrated and shout, and am I in my true self or false self?
False self.
Okay. So then my spouse says to me, you're like this, you're like that. Who is he criticizing?
My false self.
My false self. He's not criticizing my true self. The point is that the relationship starts happening between false selves. That is an out point. You have to have a relationship with the true self of the person. The trust, respect, and care is for the true self. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is very deep. It
Yes.
takes few minutes to internalize the concept. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take two examples here. One with a child. So we say a mother has an immense affinity for a child, right? But she says, oh, I've seen mothers, बड़े भी हो जाते हैं, they are 8, 10 years old, she's tying up the laces. She's telling, open your mouth and putting a spoon in it. What is this? Is it?
Wait, you're
this is-
saying that mother has affinity for a child?
I'm giving an example of what is happening. So the care is being shown. There's no respect and there's no trust.
No trust, yes.
No trust and
That's
no
right.
respect. But this is going on a lot. I mean, I've run the school in Karachi and I've had to solve these kind of problems where the child is being stopped from becoming independent because the mother is so keen to put a spoon in his mouth every time he opens his mouth and she puts it in. He puts his foot forward, she puts a sock on and the shoe on. So care, yes, but at no respect and no trust. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So a mother's job a father's job is to make the child independent, to develop their critical thinking, to make them live a life that is of taqwa on their own. That is the job. And the true self is trusted. You trust the true self. The child learns to walk, he learns languages. What can he not do? Based on fitra, you have to trust. They never give up. And there's no respect for the child. So care mein full marks, respect. Respect, how do we talk to the children? Are you talking down to the children? Say you respect somebody a lot in your life. Do you talk the same way to your child as you talk to that person? That tells you how much affinity you have. If you're bringing that thing down, some people treat them like objects in their house. But just because they've got a little body, they are being treated like an object. There's no respect. So is there affinity?
No.
There's only affinity for self, of who I am, and I'm the big father or the big brother or whatever. Yeah? Does that make sense?
In fact, you could do without care as long as there's respect and trust. But the least important factor has full focus. Oh,
Yeah. And care is very important, even emotionally. You're giving care, you're giving knowledge. And I come to the spouse area here. In a lot of relationships, there's no trust, there's no respect, and there's no care. There are already preconceived
Ooh,
ideas. Preconceived ideas are there which have labeled the person. If you label the person, you're looking at a false self. You're not looking at their true self. Does that make sense? Because wherever the person is, I've got weaknesses in me, right? But my husband trusts that I can overcome those weaknesses. He trusts me that I will overcome it. And he helps me overcome it. That's my job for him, his job for me. I respect his efforts. He respects my efforts towards becoming pure. And I care about, you have to care about your spouse. You have to care about what he likes, what he doesn't like. You have to care for him physically. What does he like? How does he like to be shown affection? How doesn't he like to be shown affection? We care about the foods, but we don't go, we need to go further into that care. What kind of knowledge is he lacking? What kind of knowledge should he have?
that's missing. Yes.
And the emotional side of a person, a spouse, I should care about. What is he going through? How hard is it for him? What is he not telling me? And this is affinity. This is how much trust, respect, and care. You have to care for his body. You have to care for your spouse's physical thing, your emotional thing, their knowledge, their spiritual state, how they are reacting. It's a joint effort to rise to the highest level of spirituality together. That's what a relationship is. Yeah, and the closeness of it makes it easy because you're so close, not only in terms of living in the same space, but physically. The closeness that is Allah Ta'ala has made possible between a man and a woman, with the wife and husband, it makes this journey easier, than it would be otherwise. But we need to look at the relationship being with the true selves and granting them respect. Does that make sense? Or is it, Sister Shazia Zeib was saying it's a huge concept. Does it help?
Yeah, now, it's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we all need to, take it in more and think about it more. So what do you take away from this? Anybody would like to put some words to it? What is their takeaway from from this section that we've covered? Anybody wants to try? Satma?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to say this is a very important takeaway. If we have to keep our affinity to highest levels, और इसके लिए सबसे जो 3 components हैं, trust, care और respect. So first of all, we'll have to improve our relationship with ourselves और अपने आप के लिए respect, care और trust पहले देना पड़ेगा. जब अपने के साथ relationship बेहतर होगा, तो फिर we'll be able to hand these things to others as well.
Yeah, and especially with a spouse. You know, what we are finding is that the Ummah is not united. It's not united. You are seeing that. And we are saying that the home is the first smallest social unit. If we can't unite in there, society is broken too. This is exemplifying our homes out there. Society is exemplified by what is happening in the homes. And we need to unite them, and the woman has a big role to play in this area, as a parent and as a spouse.
I agree.
Yeah. So, anybody else wants to add to it? Say something about it?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम.
Walaikum salam. जी अब्दुल्ला.
अच्छा मैम, जैसे अब्दुल्ला सैयद थे मैम, ये जो डिस्कशन हो रही थी उसमें मैं एक पॉइंट ये भी था कि आई मीन इट इज़ वेरी इजी फॉर अस टू एक्सेप्ट आवर ट्रू सेल्फ, बट इट्स वेरी हार्ड फॉर अस टू एक्सेप्ट आवर फॉल्स सेल्फ. अपनी खामियां जो हैं वो एक्सेप्ट करना, आई मीन इट बिकम्स वेरी हार्ड. लेकिन अपनी खूबियां जो हैं वो एक्सेप्ट करना वो काफ़ी आसान हो जाता है हमारे अपने लिए. लेकिन when it comes to the other person in any relationship, whether it be a teacher student relationship or brother sister relationship or any other relationship, तो दूसरे पर्सन का जो ट्रू सेल्फ है उसको एक्सेप्ट करना, उसकी खूबियाँ एक्सेप्ट करना वो काफ़ी मुश्किल हो जाता है हमारे लिए एट टाइम्स. और उसकी जो खामियां हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा नुमाया हमारे नज़र में हो जाती हैं. आई मीन फॉल सेल्फ उसका, यानी कि वो अगर किसी को गुस्सा आ गया एकदम, तो हम कहते हैं यार ये तो बहुत ही एकदम, हम उस पर लेबल लगा देते हैं कि ये वो तो बहुत गुस्से वाला है, रिस्पेक्टेबल नहीं है, ये नहीं है. तो आई थिंक कि अगर हम दोनों पिक्चर के दोनों चीज़ों बोथ साइड्स ऑफ द पिक्चर उसको हम नज़र में रखें, तो आई थिंक जो एफिनिटी है उसको बेहतर बनाया जा सकता है. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, we need to keep them both in mind and also realize that everybody is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. We're
Exactly.
created by Allah Ta'ala, you know. Slip हो जाता है, habits बन जाती हैं. You know, we need to be more understanding and have affinity for them, for their true selves. It's very easy to have affinity for true selves. You know, it's so sad that people have changed their character and become habits बन गई हैं, but we are there to help them through, right? Yeah, do you agree? Inshallah. So, yeah, keep this in mind, the affinity side, and keep your journey purpose always alive. I think that helps too. If your journey is towards purity, so you don't forget then that, even finding out we have got some bad things within us becomes a way to purify ourselves with every namaz. That is the whole idea of the 5 prayers, that we can look at ourselves and see kya kamiyan hain, kya khamiyan hain, kya weaknesses hain, and we can correct them, inshallah.
एक चीज मैं बस ऐड करना चाहती थी. ये जो आपने स्पाउस रिलेशनशिप में कहा ना, असल में मुझे ऐसे भी लगता है एज द टाइम गोज बाय, लाइक स्पाउस समझते हैं एक दूसरे को कि हम ऑलरेडी एक दूसरे को अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं. इट्स लाइक दिस देयर वो, तो उस वजह से क्या होता है कि उनकी एफिनिटी फॉर ईच अदर बिकम्स लोअर, लाइक और मेरे ख्याल से जब तक आपकी एफिनिटी हाई लेवल की नहीं होती ना, तो आप चीजों को उस तरीके से परसीव नहीं कर सकते. मतलब जो प्रॉब्लम्स या किसी में जो भी खामियां हैं या उनकी weaknesses हैं या problems हैं, you will not be able to understand. So if you have already this in your mind that I understand whatever he is,
Yeah.
know his nature, his problems, I already know it, then you
Yeah.
keep just by thinking that you are lowering your affinity level. That's why, but we are forgetting this, that people are constantly changing. Their problems are changing, their situation is changing, so many things constantly changing. But you are, if you keep your affinity level at the same level or lower level, you will not be able to understand what the other person is going through. So that's why it's very important to consciously keep our affinity level at a high level to understand what the other person is going through.
It's very true. I mean, some people, think that meeting your husband spouse once a week is enough. I don't think it's enough. Make time every day, even if it's 15, 20 minutes. 1 week is too off. Check in. You know what's happening with you. They should check in with you. You should check in with them. Spend time together. This is creating understanding, creating affinity. 1 week is way too off. Not talking to each other.
Don't text every hour at work, but after work hours, yes. Do
Okay.
take out 10, 15 minutes. I agree.
Yeah. Have a meal together, talk, and be quiet. No kids, nothing. Just the two of you. It's nice. Yeah. That creates bonding. So we're continuing on. Please look at our newsletters and talks, and I'm just going to, inshallah, put the survey on, and do let me know what you think of it in the chat and or in the survey form, so we can accordingly. I didn't want to rush forward with the, building relationship, because I do want you to grasp the earlier material. So section 1 we covered in line with affinity. I hope it was helpful. Please keep on progressing. Please keep on progressing with where you are, on the course. Any questions, please ask. Have you got any questions? The survey form I put up. Mr. Shazia Tariq, are you there? Any questions? Survey, are you filling in the survey?
So yeah, can you hear me, ma'am? Sorry,
Yeah.
my internet is not. It's really bad. So sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So everybody is doing the survey form. I want to ask if there are any questions. Everything's clear, I think. Yes? Because it was interactive.
Yes.
So we were taking questions as we went
Mhm.
along. I really appreciate you coming. Do say which areas. I'm going to ask you a question. When I write to you, that you need to say which area you want help on, so that we can cover it more in the session as well. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put the survey form on there. This one, I want you to bring 10 people. Every one of you needs to bring 10 people. Are you going to do this Sunday? The unity we are waiting for, your part in Muslim unity. We've especially called Dr. Muhammad Wajid Akhtar for you. He's very active on this area of Muslim unity. We all want it, we are lacking it, and we need to find out what to do. Yeah, what each one of us has to do, so that on Judgment Day we can tell God we did our part. What do you think?
Yes.
Hmm?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay.
Yeah. Shall we stop, ma'am? Is it? I think we have done everything. Yes. Let's end.
Jan, any questions? Please say in chat if you got any questions. Is it okay for us to close now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.